Hi Aries, welcome to your reading for your 2017 yearly forecast, and in this reading I'm going to be talking about the astrological influences for you, and I'm also going to be pulling some cards. So I decided to pull 2 cards per quarter just to make it not too long, but to give you a bit of information to look into the year ahead. Now, to start with Aries, at the beginning of this year there is a lot of energy astrologically in the areas of your solar chart to do with spirituality and your beliefs, and you may be desiring to travel, but you may feel a little bit of frustration with your desire to travel, conflicting with some blocks that you just have to deal with in the beginning part of the year. So there's a bit of tension for you in the beginning part of the year, and as you go further into the year, around the time of March, actually from March 4th to April 15th, Venus retrograde is actually in the sign of Aries, and what that means and what that does for you is actually can potentially bring back a lover or a friend from the past, an ex from the past. So do be aware of that time period, because in your solar houses it does relate to your sense of identity and also your relationships. So it is potentially a little bit challenging for you, but also it could trigger some kind of reconnecting with the next flame, or some kind of communication from an ex-flame, or some kind of reuniting with somebody from the past, even if it's just chatting with them online. So there is somebody that's kind of either lurking around a little bit from your past, or that does come out and you reconnect with them in some way. Now, for some areas, you do have to be careful, because an ex could actually complicate an existing relationship and cause you some confusion there. So do be aware of that influence from March to April 2017. The other information that I have for you, Aries, is that Jupiter will be in your 7th house of relationships. So for the most part of 2017, until Jupiter moves into Scorpio down the track in October. So what that means for you, Aries, is that there's a lot going on with your relationships, like a lot of expansion in relationships, a lot of intensity around relationships, growth in new friendships and new connections as well. So don't be afraid to socialize with others who you feel a good connection with, because it will bring expansion to your path. Now, that said, you do have to watch out for, as I said, complicating your love life if you are in a relationship. Do be aware of that, because you may be feeling quite good as well, especially in the beginning part of the year, in the first few months of the year. You're feeling quite good in the way you look, and you're feeling you're good with your personal energy, so you may be attracting a lot more attention than normal, Aries. So just be aware of attracting the wrong people, or having too many people drawn to you, and possibly multiple love interests, and not knowing what to do with that. So that's what I mean by complicating your life as well. So from October, Jupiter moves into your 8th house. So what that means is the energy really shifts then to wanting more freedom in, regards to your more serious financial situations, and wanting to kind of maybe take out a loan for, to go on a holiday, or to go on an overseas trip, or to do something more serious, or something bigger than you have previously. So just be aware and make sure that you can afford to, take out an extra loan, that you can handle the repayments and things like that, because it is your financial sector. It's also in your intimacy sector. So that could bring in some interesting issues around intimacy that could be a little bit challenging, but it is bringing expansion and growth and understanding from a higher perspective to that part of your life as well. Pluto is, continues to expand to transform rather your career, and also your long-term goals and aspirations for your life. So that is a long-term influence that you have there. So that could be a bit tricky for career. You may feel a bit blocked in your career at this time, because Pluto and Capricorn in the 10th house, it is transforming, but it does take time, and so you could feel a little bit frustrated with that. Towards the end of the year, towards the end of the year, we have Saturn moving into Capricorn, so that does cause some tension, unfortunately, for you, Aries. And what that means is you'll be having to balance and adjust to the different aspects of your life. So you'll be having to adjust your career with your sense of identity, also with your relationships, and it could pull you away from your home or from nurturing those closest to you, because you are just going to be quite busy and the demands will be on you. You might, you know, take on more responsibility in the workplace towards the very end of 2017. You may feel a bit burdened with that. So do, you know, not scatter your energy towards the end of 2017. You'll need to consolidate your energy and really focus on what is most important for you. And so you will be challenging yourself to grow this year, Aries, and you could have, as I said, this struggle between career goals, your life path, your home life, your relationships. You may feel that everything's pulling on you and you're just not sure what to give your energy to. But as I said, focusing in on what the biggest priority is towards the end of the year, where there is a little bit of stress with this, will be the best thing for you so that you don't feel exhausted. But overall, there's expansion in relationships, as I said, friendships, and there is, you know, some possible travel I'm getting with Aries people. Not all Aries people will travel overseas, but there could be, you know, quite a few Aries people who do want to, you know, travel, are dreaming of travel, long-term travel plans, feeling adventurous, feeling restless, feeling not happy with the status quo of your life. You know, working 9 to 5, you may just feel a little bit too restless for that. So you may be having these big dreams and big plans that you're wanting to put into motion. And with Saturn influencing and Pluto where they're at, it's about you know, really methodically working on that. For some Aries, there may be also some stress around education. If you are studying, you may be, this year things may be more serious in the realm of studies for you, which is a continuation of some of the things from last year for you, Aries. So but you are really quite serious about your thinking as well this year, as you have been in 2016, and you know, you may be quite seriously philosophical about what you want to do, your goals, your aspirations in life. So let's have a look at the cards, and let's get, one card's flipped over, so when that happens, actually, you know what, there was a few, so I'll put them back. If one comes out, there we have another few. Let me just see. I'm going to pull out 2 cards per quarter. So I've divided the year in quarters, starting with the first quarter. So let's look at the very first part of the year for you, Aries. I'm going to get that one. And, oops, that one not turned over yet. So for the first part of the year, interesting, we have Temperance and the High Priestess. So wow, this is very powerful for you, Aries. The High Priestess is all about intuition. It's all about what you sense and what you know, what you're feeling. You may be feeling things on an undercurrent level to do with your relationships, and I'm getting relationships around this for some reason to start with, and that could relate to Venus retrograding in your sign, Aries, in March. So that's the early part of the year. Yeah, so that's in the first quarter, so that would relate to what I'm picking up on here. So yeah, there's something about relationships here and needing to take a balanced approach that's really important. So I know you Aries get very excited when you can get very easily and quickly excited when you meet someone who is exciting, when you reconnect with someone from your past that you felt very strongly for. And so what this is advising for the first part of the year is to take things slow, to have balance with interactions with other people, to not go over the top and really listen to your intuition. That is the main message for the first part of the year there, Aries. Okay, so let's go to the next 2 cards. So this is for April, May, June. Oh, the World. That's a great card. And the Ace of Cups. My goodness. So it looks like there is some kind of very exciting things happening for you, Aries people, from April, May, and June next year. It could be a new relationship comes in, or a renewal of a relationship. The World card just opens things up for you big time. So there is something major happening and very significant happening. It could be a new relationship or a renewal of an existing relationship. But I am drawn to this male here, and it feels like he's someone that's kind of peeping in, sort of seeing how you're doing, possibly for some Aries people. And I'm also drawn to the Lion here, and I'm feeling like that's about taming the beast within. So that may be relating to yourself, or maybe to somebody that you know. So you may have to sort of keep someone at arm's length a little bit, because they may be very enthusiastic about reconnecting with you, and there is potential for a lot of deep feelings here to get stirred up within you. So do be careful with that if you are in a relationship. But if you're not in a relationship, this is really beautiful, and this suggests that there could be a new love from possibly the end of March into April, May and June, or any time around those 3 months, where someone new comes into your life and really opens up a new world for you. It's very powerful, very magical energies with these 2 cards. Okay, let's see what's next. This is that one. I really feel something back here. Oh, this one here. Okay. The 4 of Cups and the 6 of Wands. Looks like something here is potentially like a bit of a disappointed sensation, a bit of an emotional kind of boredom, or a feeling of, things are just not exactly how you want them to be emotionally in a relationship for this period of time. So starts off with a little bit of what looks like some boredom, or a feeling of kind of same old, or someone is making an offer to you in some aspect of your life, and it could be in a relationship, it could be in an existing relationship or a new relationship, where you just are feeling like you're not quite on the same page as that person, or you're not seeing what they have to offer you, because your heart is elsewhere or your mind is elsewhere. So with this card, I always say, to really look at the positive things that are in your life and to appreciate them. This here, I'm getting a couple of meanings with this. So for some Aries, it is an offer coming to you from a man. This is traditionally a success card in tarot. So it does hint that once you sort of get over your emotional feelings of, this is not that great for me, I'm not really into this, it looks like you may change your mind. That's one, potential meaning here. I'm just going to tune into this card and see what else I'm getting for this. I'm getting like there's some kind of news coming to you from a male, and it's something really positive I'm getting here. So it's like you start off feeling, in this period of time in the year, a little bit disenchanted with things, but someone comes along and sort of gives you something, some kind of hope, some kind of fresh energy, or some kind of, you get some kind of reward for something that you've done also in the past, potentially. You may have helped someone previously, and maybe the favour is returned to you. That could be another potential. And someone is there for you. I feel really strongly with this, and there's a lot of potential with this. So again, it could be an existing relationship, or it could be to do with an incoming, connection that's positive for your life. Okay, so, sorry, I was just counting where I was up to. January, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So we're up to October, November, December now. 2 last cards for Aries, and that will be the forecast for Aries. So let's go that one and that one. So this is looking at the very end of the year, the last few months. Oh, the Knight of Swords and the Hangman. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like you may be feeling a little bit blocked in some situation towards the last few months of the year, but there is someone here that's very strongly coming into the picture, again, to help you. This feeling of a male coming in to assist you in some way, or you yourself, on the one hand, taking charge of a situation that's very specific. I feel very specific with this. So, but it's almost like what I'm getting here is there is a need to see things from a different perspective in the last few months of the year, to really look back on your life with a higher perspective, with a more spiritual perspective, and not to, you may be feeling quite ambitious, towards the end of the year, and quite driven, but you may be feeling somewhat blocked at the same time, and that totally relates with the astrology. So, and that relates, to the cards in front of us here. We have, on the one hand, this card which demonstrates someone who's very strong-minded and just wants to charge in and really take over a situation, take the lead with something that they're passionate about and something they've been thinking about. And on the other hand, it can be a male figure who comes into your life as well to offer you some kind of insight, or there's some kind of passionate energy here. On the other hand, you've got this opposite energy of the Hangman, which is just slow down a little bit, just get a different perspective on your situation towards the end of the year, Aries, and look at things from a more spiritual perspective to get that sense of wisdom and the lesson in what you've been learning throughout the whole year. So that was your reading, Aries. I hope that brought you some insights, and if you'd like personal reading with me, follow the links below to my online store. Thank you for watching. Have a great year. Bye.